In 2024, Silicon Valley tried to sell us a future without phones. Not a better app, not a smarter assistant. A new object in your pocket or on your chest that would understand the world for you. Humane had a sleek black pin. Rabbit had a bright orange box. Both promised something bigger than hardware. They promised a new way to live with artificial intelligence. No endless scrolling, no app grids, no screens stealing your attention. Just talk, ask, point, and the machine would handle the rest. It sounded elegant. It looked futuristic. And for a moment, it felt like the next computing platform had finally arrived. But inside Ledgergrave, every promise has to face one question. What happens when the future is shipped before it works? The hype did not start slowly. It exploded. Expo floors, launch videos, influencer reactions, tech headlines, and social feeds all pointed at the same idea. AI hardware was about to become the next big thing. Rabbit became one of the loudest stories from CES, selling out its first batch fast and turning a tiny orange device into an internet object. Humane carried a different kind of hype. Former Apple talent, minimalist design, and the confidence of a company trying to remove the phone from the center of your life. Investors wanted the next platform. Audiences wanted magic. Reviewers wanted to believe, and the devices looked perfect for the moment. Small, visual, mysterious, but hype has a weakness. It can create attention before it creates trust. Humane's bet was the boldest. The AI pin was not trying to be a fun accessory. It was trying to replace a part of the smartphone itself. A wearable assistant, clipped to your clothing, powered by voice, gestures, and a projected interface. The message was clean. Less screen, more intelligence. But the business model raised the stakes immediately. This was a premium device with a premium price, and it asked users to pay again every month for the experience. That meant the product could not simply be interesting. It had to be reliable. It had to be useful in public. It had to feel better than reaching for a phone. Humane did not just sell a gadget. It sold confidence. And confidence is dangerous when the product is unfinished. Rabbit chose a different personality. Instead of cold minimalism, it gave people a bright orange box. The R1 looked playful, weird, and internet native. At $199, it felt easier to understand than the AI pin. It had a screen, a button, a camera, and a simple promise. Talk to this device, and it will help you get things done. The idea was charming. A pocket companion that could search, answer, recognize, and eventually act across apps. People wanted to believe this was the start of agentic AI in the real world. And Rabbit understood something important. The product had to feel alive. But being memorable is not the same as being necessary. A colorful box can attract attention. It still has to earn a place in someone's daily routine. Then the reviews arrived, and the story changed almost overnight. The same devices that looked like the future on stage began to look fragile in real life. Reviewers complained about slow responses, missing features, awkward interactions, battery issues, and basic tasks that a phone could complete faster. The problem was not that AI sounded boring. The problem was that these devices made AI feel less convenient. Every failed request became evidence. Every delay became a crack in the illusion. And because the hype had been so loud, the disappointment became loud too. Tech audiences are willing to forgive rough edges when the core idea feels useful. But when a product asks you to carry another object, the tolerance drops fast. The verdict from the first wave was brutal. Impressive concept, weak execution. This is where the real enemy appeared. Not another startup. Not a rival AI model. The enemy was the smartphone. The phone already had a screen, a camera, apps, maps, messages, payments, notifications, and AI features arriving through software updates. It was already charged, already connected, and already part of people's habits. So the new AI gadgets had to answer a hard question. Why should anyone carry one more device? If the answer was speed, the phone often won. If the answer was convenience, the phone usually won again. If the answer was privacy or focus, the use case still had to be obvious. The AI hardware dream assumed people wanted a phone replacement, but most users did not want another thing to manage. They wanted their phone to get smarter. For Humane, the collapse became literal. The AI pin went from premium future object to warning sign in less than a year. Sales struggled, reviews damaged trust, and the company eventually sold key assets to HP. The service shutdown turned the story from disappointment into a case study. A device that depended on cloud intelligence could not survive without the cloud. Once the servers were scheduled to go dark, the product's weakness became impossible to ignore. This was not just bad press. It was a reminder that modern hardware is often only alive because a company keeps feeding it software, servers, and support. Humane wanted to free people from screens. Instead, it showed how quickly a beautiful device can become evidence on a desk. Rabbit did not disappear the same way. Its story became more complicated. The R1 was criticized, mocked, and dismissed by many early users. But Rabbit kept pushing software updates. The company tried to improve speed, features, interface, and the overall experience after launch. That does not erase the first impression. In consumer tech, the launch is not just a beginning. It is a trust event. If users feel misled on day one, every later update has to fight uphill. Still, Rabbit's survival attempt matters. It shows the difference between a failed launch and a dead product. The orange box may not have become the next phone, but it kept trying to become something useful. The question is whether the market still cares after the excitement has moved on. The mistake was deeper than bad reviews. It was product market fit. These companies treated AI as if it automatically justified new hardware. But users do not adopt devices because the technology is impressive. They adopt devices because the habit is clear. What do I use it for every day? When is it faster? When is it better? What pain does it remove? For the AI pin and the R1, those answers were not strong enough at launch. The products asked for attention before they proved utility. They asked for new behavior before they created a real need. That is the danger of building during a hype cycle. The market may applaud the demo, but it only rewards the routine. And routine is where these gadgets struggled most. So here is the verdict. Humane and Rabbit did not fail because artificial intelligence is useless. They failed because the hardware story ran ahead of the product reality. Humane promised a screenless future and ended with a shutdown. Rabbit promised an AI-native companion and ended up fighting to rebuild trust through updates. One became a collapse. The other became a survival attempt. But both revealed the same truth. The next platform cannot be carried by hype alone. It has to be faster than the phone, easier than the phone, or more valuable than the phone. Otherwise, it is not the future. It is just another device asking for a pocket, a charger, and patience. In the Ledgergrave files, this case is not about AI dying. It is about hype arriving too early. The file is closed, the promise was big, the products were small, and the market made its decision. The future does not belong to the loudest demo, but to the product people actually keep using.